Hello everybody, welcome to Epilepsy Gangster. I'm Tim Ulmer, your host, and before you go assuming I'm some kind of Godfather wannabe because of my voice, it's not. It's because I have an implant, a vagus nerve stimulator, and it's because of the evils done to me by the Epilepsy Gangster. It has to be at 100% power, and it affects my voice. So I've gone underground to fight this guy. He's a real tyrant that has to be stopped because the Epilepsy Gangster robs people of employment, opportunities, and relationships. He steals from pensions, college funds, savings accounts, and monthly budgets so people have to choose between food and medicine. And he kills people, whether it's in their sleep, whether it's in auto accidents, or simply falling to their death. I have assembled a gang of people who are leading happy and productive lives in the community regardless of their epilepsy. Watch our show and see what you can learn from them. Something that's wonderful is when you know that your life is worth something and that your life affects other people. And very few people affect as many people as teachers. And that's why tonight we have Renee Jerome with us. She is a special eds teacher near Atlanta, and she's also been rewarded for it. Welcome to our show tonight, Renee.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Renee, tell us, when did Epilepsy Gangster first intrude upon your life?
Well, it was back in 2011. I was diagnosed with absence seizures back then. So as a kid, you really it doesn't bother you that much. Life is what it is. But as I got older, I really didn't have many seizures up until I was 18. And I started driving. I was driving and had a seizure and hit a mailbox, and actually was arrested because the cop did not believe that I would had a seizure. He thought I was actually drunk. So I was arrested, had to go through a process of trial because it was a felony. I hit a mailbox and kept going. So I just went short distance down the road, but it was a felony. So I had to go through this ordeal to get that expunged from my record and prove that I, in fact, did have epilepsy. For a while, tried to push for police to be trained with about epilepsy and that it's not all just shaking and stuff that you see on TV. But so after that, it was a lot. I kept having seizures. I started having complex partial seizures. I got married at cause where I couldn't drive. I had to stop getting my degree my education degree because I couldn't drive to school. I ended up we had bought a house as a family, but I couldn't drive to and from work because it was a good distance. So we had to move in with my parents for a while for them to help get me to and from work. But so it's kind of kicked my butt for a while.
Had you wanted to be a teacher for a long time?
I've wanted to be a teacher since I was 13. I knew I wanted to be a special ed teacher just because I volunteered working with those kids, and I just loved them. I knew that was the call on my life. That was the purpose that I was created. So I have always wanted to work with kids. I've even volunteered at church, just because I loved kids. This kind of put a damper on when I couldn't drive, put a damper on me getting to teach because I couldn't finish my degree. So I thought the second best thing would be to be a parapro in a special needs classroom. And I loved it.
Parapro?
Paraprofessional. It's like a teacher's aide, kind of, where you work with the kids, but you're not teaching, leading the class. So I did that for about 10 years. I loved it. But even after that, I knew that I was still created for more and I wanted to do more. I still wanted to teach.
That's great. So what inspired you to finish your education?
Well, I had a friend that I worked with, and she knew my situation. She knew I couldn't drive. So she actually helped me research ways to become a teacher, alternate ways to become a teacher. So, because I finished getting my degree in mathematics, and it was math degree in accounting, because I love math. I'm a math nerd. But she found out that I could still teach in Georgia with a bachelor's degree. And I just have to take a few tests. They're called GACE tests. And then I could teach. So I was able to use my accounting degree, take the test needed, and become a special education math teacher.
Great. What is it that you like about teaching now?
I guess because I teach high schoolers. I did teach middle school for a little while, and it was interesting, but I teach high school, and I just love helping kids get from point A to point B, whether it's them realizing that aha moments, I know what I want to do after high school, or just realize that they have a purpose too. Because especially working with students with disabilities, I work with the higher end where they still can function. You wouldn't even know they had disabilities, but it's hard for them to find out, to realize what they either want to do or what they can do. So teaching them and helping with them with those life skills and figuring out what they want to do after high school, and watching them walk across that stage, that is my most favorite thing. And especially when they come visit later.
Well, you said you became certified in 2015. Only 2 years later, you got a special award. Please tell us about that.
I did. I became my school's teacher of the year, 2017-18 school year. It was quite a shock to me. I was not expecting it. I just do what I do day in, day out, same old me. I love teaching. And one day they opened the door to my classroom to announce that I was a teacher of the year finalist. So I like to say my mouth was wide open. It was definitely unexpected. And there was 3 of us. We had to go through the process and do an interview, have people watch our classes, see how our classes run. And I ended up winning that year. It was still a shock. And then after that, I ended up becoming a finalist, the high school finalist for my zone. It was a Northwest zone in Fulton County, kind of right outside of Atlanta. I was their high school finalist for that year, and just kept going. It's still kind of surreal to me to be able to say that, but that's it.
Well, it just shows what a natural teacher you must be to accomplish that in only 2 years. Tell us about what else you do besides teaching students in the classroom.
Well, I help out because I went through the program I went through, the Georgia TAP program I went through was Fulton's Quest program is what it's called. They prepare the teachers and help you get your certificate. So since I went through that, I knew the struggle, because it is a lot trying to teach, be a mom. And at the time, actually right before I did it is when I had my brain surgery. So I was teaching, going to school, had just had my brain surgery, and working, everything all at one time. I knew that the struggle and how hard it is for them. So I have stayed with that program and helped teach the teachers. I am kind of like their special ed liaison, I guess. I have taught 2 classes, a special ed class and a assessing special ed students class. And I guess this is my second love, is mentoring teachers and work at helping them find their love, their passion for teaching.
So you are really affecting many, many lives.
The person that I'm speaking about today is a breath of fresh air to anyone that knows her. She brings so much to the classroom, as well as to the people that she teaches with and that she's around on a daily basis. Her smile, laughter, kindness, and love for what she does is seen every single day from the time that she walks in the building until she walks out in the afternoons.
This teacher really helped me get through a lot of tough times and she took me in like her own kid, and she's been loving since the first day I met her.
She's the best. She cares about us as not only students, but also as people, and cares about our lives. She's just so nice to everybody.
This teacher truly cares about her students, and really all students. She goes out of her way to make sure students have what they need to be successful. And she's just so sincere with her students, and we're just so glad to have her here.
This teacher always has a positive attitude in the classroom, and she always makes learning enjoyable, and she makes it just click in everybody's head, and that's why she's a great teacher.
This teacher exudes the passion for teaching. She's all about helping her students succeed. We are really lucky to have her here.
I couldn't be more proud of her. She is a silent leader. She leads by example. She doesn't really know the impact she's had on all the teachers in her department. She loves her kids, and I'm so proud that she is our Teacher of the Year.
This teacher is always willing to support others. She's a leader in the building, and she's always thinking of ways to engage her students in instruction so that they can really get the essence of the lesson and be able to apply the lessons they're learning outside of school.
This teacher works very hard at personalizing learning experiences in her classroom, and she is an expert at tying her lessons to authentic, genuine, real-world learning.
What's one word of advice you have for anybody with epilepsy?
To keep going, keep dreaming. Don't let it stop you or hold you back. No matter what, you were created for a purpose. With epilepsy or not, you were created for a purpose. So find ways around it and get your dream.
Absolutely marvelous. Well, Renee, thank you for joining us, teaching us, and wish you great luck with your career.
Thank you. I'm glad I could be here.
Okay.
Beavers, and I am one of the many survivors living with epilepsy. My life has been filled with many ups and downs. It's just a part of life. I am proud of the person that I am becoming, and as I stand in the face of this relentless disorder called epilepsy, I want you all to know that I am me.
Tim always knew the world was made of different people, the idea of serving others, and loving the United States. Epilepsy made that difficult his entire life, particularly in keeping him out of the Navy. After several failures, the chance came to teach English in communist China. Going to the Chinese university, he was the first foreigner most had met, and he became their only American friend. Everyone discovered that people shouldn't base their friendships solely on nationalities.
I was glad to answer their questions because for the first time in my life, I saw that God had a mission for me. I became proud of my epilepsy, and I realized that I was serving on a mission for my country's image that was bigger than anything I'd imagined as a kid. At the same time, I was serving God.
Read the ebook, Involuntary Mission in China with a Thorn in the Flesh, to learn about Tim's struggles and discoveries. Ebook available on Amazon.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really excited about this next guest of ours, Miss Maggie Fitzsimmons, because not only did she rise above her disorder, the disorder actually became a inspiration for her career. And welcome, Maggie. Why don't you tell us what it is you do?
Hi, well, I'm Maggie. I'm a first-year medical student at USF's Morsani College of Medicine. I've had epilepsy for about 5 years now, so I'm really passionate about helping people with epilepsy. It's the reason I wanted to go into medicine in the first place.
Beautiful. Well, tell us, how did your seizures begin?
So when I was in high school, I was in a really bad car accident and I had a brain injury, was in the hospital for a few weeks. And for about 6 months, I was experiencing what I just called like waves of a weird feeling. I didn't know what they were, but I was scared to really talk to most people about them because I thought, I don't know, something was just wrong with me. And one day, one of those turned into a grand mal seizure, and I found out I had epilepsy. So I have struggled with that for a few years. I was having seizures pretty regularly. Now I'm very fortunate. I've found the right medications for it. And so I've gone about a year and a half now without having a seizure.
To have something like this happen, that really had to be a shock to your lifestyle. Now, what did you think about it at first?
I think it was really scary at first. I didn't know if I was going to be able to go to college. I didn't know if people were going to think I was weird or how long it would take to get it under control, if I was ever able to get it under control. So I think that was really scary. And I think any teenager would appreciate that. But for me, I think the thing I found most helpful was being very open with people and honest with people, because when I acted like I wasn't scared of it, other people weren't scared of it. And also doing that helped me to find the people that really were going to be my friend and support me and love me regardless of my condition.
Bravo. Well, wonderful idea. What line of work did you get into?
So while I was in college, I got certified as an EMT and I started working as a first responder. I absolutely loved it. I worked on ambulances occasionally. I worked on campus at my school, Florida State University, and really got to see a lot of cool things, help a lot of people. Absolutely loved it.
Maggie, when you've been on call, have you done any calls to people having seizures? Tell us about that experience.
Yes, I have. I've been in situations where we got calls where we had to respond to someone having a seizure. Most of the time it was someone's first seizure. And when we arrived, they were usually in the postictal phase, really out of it, and most of the time really scared. And I felt really honored to be able to be there and be with those people, because I was able to calm them down and tell them, hey, this happened to me. I've been scared before too. And I've been embarrassed. I know how it feels to wake up in a public setting and be like, oh gosh, everyone around me looks terrified right now. So I really felt honored to be able to be there with those people and help calm them down. And I really think it made a difference and let them know that they weren't alone.
What did any of them have as a comment back to you, just as to what they did feel about you?
All of them told me that they were very grateful for me. Now, a few of them were not aware enough to really be able to be as responsive as they probably would have liked, but most just expressed that they were very grateful.
I think that's marvelous. Well, being an EMT, that's got to be a little bit nerve-wracking for some people. What did you think about having such responsibilities for other people's welfare when living with a risk like your own epilepsy?
I think I had to really acknowledge my limitations, that, you know, sometimes I was going to have to ask for help. Sometimes I was going to have to ask someone to cover my shift if I knew that day I wasn't going to be able to do what I needed to. But I think I also really just kept reminding myself that when I'm not having a seizure, I'm not having a seizure. I can do what I want to do. I can pursue my goals, do all that. And there's no reason to treat it like it has to control every single day and every single hour. You know, I have the time that I have is time that I'm given to do the things I want to do to pursue my goals.
And what are those goals going to be now that you're in med school? Where are you going to go next?
My goals really are to continue helping people with epilepsy. Med school is going to be a long journey, but I really hope to pursue pediatric neurology. I would love to work with kids and adolescents with seizures. I think it would be wonderful to help inspire them, show them that they can be more, and help them to get their epilepsy as controlled as possible.
Well, great.
During the pandemic here, was there a particular experience that you really found exciting to be part of?
I really loved being a part of the vaccination clinic at Florida State. It was really cool to see people coming in, and you saw the stages. At first it was only elderly people, and then you saw more and more, and by the end we were getting tons and tons of people coming in, and that was really exciting to see. I mean, it was exciting to see us getting towards the end, the numbers going down, and I just felt so honored to be a part of that.
Awesome. Well, tell us about your advocacy work here on campus.
So when I was a junior in college, I was given the opportunity to join the advisory board of the Epilepsy Foundation of Florida, and got to meet a lot of really wonderful people. And so I wondered what really I could do to expand their impact. So I decided to start a collegiate chapter at my school of the Epilepsy Foundation. Absolutely loved it. We started doing awareness events, fundraisers. We got some kids certified, such as myself, to teach seizure first aid and recognition courses that would certify those people through the Epilepsy Foundation. I'm excited now. I've certified personally more than 200 people. Really, with the pandemic, it showed us how to adapt to being online too. So it made it a lot easier to reach big populations. Now we've also established collegiate chapters at USF in Tampa, UF in Gainesville, and we're working on UNC Chapel Hill right now.
Man, how do you have time to get any schoolwork done with all that? Wow. Absolutely amazing. Well, Maggie, is there any one message that you want to tell people with epilepsy?
I think just to know that epilepsy is a part of you, but it doesn't need to be your identity. It's something that is going to cause hardship, but it just makes you stronger. It makes you a better person, and it only is going to limit you as much as you decide to let it.
Oh, well spoken. You sound wise beyond your years.
Thank you very much.
And I know that everyone watching, if they have any need of medical assistance, they'd certainly love to have you be the one to take care of them. Yes,
I am. I can't wait. I hope I will be one day.
Very good. Well, Maggie, thank you very much for joining us. And Epilepsy Gangster, look out for this young woman.
Thank you very much.
The Defeating Epilepsy Foundation is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping those battling epilepsy. We provide advocacy and educational services to those battling epilepsy at a global level. For more information about our projects and services, please visit our website at www.defeatingepilepsy.org or email us at info@defeatingepilepsy.org. Please like us on social media and follow us so you can see how we are making a difference. Thank you for your support, and together we will defeat epilepsy.
I want you to know that you are not alone.
And I was scared to go home because I didn't know what to expect at home. And I knew we had stairs everywhere at home to get in the house, both sides of the house. And granted, after that, I was good, but just getting in the house and
what I wish I would have done for the last 30 years. And that is to let people know how much I struggle, how much help I needed, because I didn't get any help. So I wish I would have done that instead of keeping secret about it.
Well, Ron and I were very fortunate to find a support group right off the bat. And I have to say it was the most uplifting thing that we could have possibly done.
This often sickly man, who was only 5'4" and weighed under 100 pounds, swore that epilepsy was his constitutional liability. Despite wealthy young Virginians typically attending Williams and Mary College, family doctors convinced his parents to send him elsewhere because the school was in a part of Virginia where malaria was common. He chose Princeton instead and finished in only 2 years. He lost his first bid for the Virginia House of Delegates because he did not give free alcohol to voters on Election Day, as was expected of the candidates back then. He saw it as bribing the voters and contrary to his Republican principles. Nonetheless, the next year he was appointed to an open seat at the Continental Congress at the age of 29, where he was the youngest delegate. The Confederated States of America were on the verge of economic collapse. Following our independence from England, the Constitutional Convention assigned this man to draft the Constitution by which America adheres to today. His brother-in-law later saw that it took him 3 attempts because epileptic seizures caused accidents while he was writing it. An epileptic seizure during a military drill in 1775 kept him from being a soldier in the Revolutionary War. Ironically, other than Abraham Lincoln, he was the only American commander-in-chief to be directly involved with a military engagement. When British soldiers approached the White House in the War of 1812, he seized 2 dueling pistols and went to rally American troops on the line. This man is American President James Madison. The advancement and diffusion of knowledge is the only true guardian of liberty.
Epilepsy Gangster. Well, what's your impression of my gang members? They're pretty remarkable people, aren't they? And there's millions more around the world. Frankly, Epilepsy Gangster, your time is running out. And for the rest of you, my friends, may you be seizure-free until we meet again, and may God bless you.